What's going on, guys, and welcome back to another video. Welcome to your stimulus check update, stimulus package and infrastructure update, and daily news report for Sunday, August 29th. Hopefully you guys have had an incredible weekend, but let's get into the update so far. First off, I want to provide an update on where the talks of a $2,800 stimulus check are actually coming from. Some of this is true, but some of this is very misleading. So I want to explain that so that nobody gets frustrated that they didn't receive their $2,800 check yet. Also, in this video, I want to explain the eviction situation that's happening right now in the fight over the remaining money. Yes, we got lawmakers that are already worried about what are we going to do with the money that is still left over, yet the Treasury is trying to get that money out quicker. So I'm going to update you on what is going on there, and I want to dive into what experts are saying regarding the upcoming job searches. So there's a lot of stuff happening right now, and all this is going to affect each one of us. Here's what we know. Back on February 3rd, okay, it's been a while, but back on February 3rd, Representative Rashida Tlaib, she said, and I quote, this was on Twitter, she said, "One-time survival checks don't cut it when the bills haven't even stopped coming in every month. We need monthly recurring $2,000 survival checks." That's what she said. And many experts believed and they agreed that yes, if we are still in this pandemic and this pandemic were to drag on, then yes, monthly recurring stimulus checks would be a good idea. Well, 7 months later, here we are. 7 months later, and we are still talking about being in this pandemic for one more year. So, the talks of additional stimulus, are they coming back? As of right now, the talks of additional stimulus are coming back. But the talks of an additional stimulus check, we haven't heard much on that yet. Again, I'm going to dive into that $2,800 stimulus check rumor in just a second. But with just 7 days from today, in 1 week, about 7 million people, I think it's like 7.5 million people, are going to lose at least $1,200 in their income every single month. Now, the scary part is that the $1,200 is just the federal government's portion. That is that $300 per week boost that the federal government is giving to people on unemployment. States, they still contribute $700 or more to these individuals. So, in just 7 days, in 1 week, about 7 million people are going to lose over $1,900 per month. And let me ask you this. What would $1,900 per month do for you? Would it pay for your house or your apartment? Could it pay for your car? Put food on the table? Could it pay for all your medications? What could $1,900 do for you? Because $1,900 is not a drop in the bucket. That's a significant amount of money every single month. That is almost $24,000. Okay? That's almost $24,000 at the end of the year. That's quite a bit. Okay? Now, on top of this, on top of the amount of money the American people could be losing, the eviction filings are already starting to roll in. Millions of people could become evicted any day now. Some people are just being threatened with the eviction and are just leaving. But some say that's not the best move. Reports this morning indicate that Congress is worried about the evictions. They are trying to figure out, can they extend the eviction moratorium? Is there something else they can do? Well, there is. But right now, Senator Schumer and Speaker Pelosi are not bringing back the House and the Senate. They're not going to bring them back early. Chuck Schumer, the Senate Majority Leader, he is not going to bring back the Senate any earlier. He is going to keep them on recess until September 13th. That is when they will come back. That's their official first day. And then a week later, Nancy Pelosi and the House of Representatives, they will come back on September 20th. So we still got a little bit of time left. We still got a few weeks, two to 3 weeks before they are back, but they're supposed to be making progress in the meantime. But here are the reports that came out this morning. The reports are saying that Congress, they want answers on a different question. The question is, what happens to the rental assistance funding that was already issued to states? But if millions, again, these are for millions of people that could be evicted, but Congress or some people within Congress want to know what happens to that money. If it's not used for the millions of renters out there, what are we going to do with that money? Well, according to a few lawmakers, if the full $47 billion doesn't get used, then Congress should and can reallocate those funds for a different purpose. And reports this morning indicate that this is one of the reasons why the Treasury Department this week stated that states should be sending out the money quicker, and they changed the rules to allow for self-attestation. And so right now, just to give you an idea, one Senate staffer indicates that if these funds are not used by October, then we can simply take these back. And so I don't know if the states are going to be able, and when I say I don't know, I don't think the states are going to be able to give these funds out that quick because they're just so slow. But again, if the money isn't used by October and yet there's still, millions and billions of dollars in unpaid rent, I think that money should stay there. That money needs to go to renters so that they can pay for their things and finally get the economy back on track. But again, lawmakers are looking at ways to bring the cost down of that $3.5 trillion infrastructure bill. One of the ways they can do that, one of the ways they do not have to get so much in tax revenue, is by taking back some of the old stimulus funding and use that to pay for this next bill. So again, this is just one thing that we're seeing because, and again, I bring this up because this is what Democrats have said for a while, is if we can take some of the money that was spent under former President Donald Trump, take that money, then it doesn't go on our administration. It doesn't go on the Biden administration. It just shows that, yes, that money was spent under former President Donald Trump, but it's actually being spent under the new administration. So it's a little bit of a trickery here, but it is something that we have seen multiple times over the years. So right now, what I can tell you is currently there are about 6.4 million U.S. households that are not current on rent. The last estimate was that the average renter owes about $3,700 in back rent. There are over 7 million people currently on unemployment. Many reports show that many of the unemployed are actually the ones that are behind on rent. So experts worry that without either an extension to the unemployment benefits or an extension to the eviction moratorium, these households will actually suffer more, and this could cause a major economic downturn. So that's not great news there. But let's get into the talks of that $2,800 stimulus check. Here's what we know. I did a lot of I kept reading about this $2,800 stimulus check. Where is it coming from? What's it for? Is this just fake news? And I promise you guys, I will tell you the news. I will also bring you updates on if we're seeing fake news, fake reports, or a scam out there. This is not a scam. This is not fake news. It's just been misrepresented. Here's what I can tell you. There's an article by Business Insider. You can go and read it. Okay? It's an article that's been published by Business Insider, is picked up across the internet. It's saying that Democrats plan to tax corporations on their overseas profits. This could bring in roughly $800 billion. Okay? That's not any new news. It also says that $800 billion would fund roughly two $1,400 stimulus checks. Also, $2,800. So, I've been seeing a lot of people saying that we're going to receive a $2,800 stimulus check. That Congress is proposing a $2,800 stimulus check. No, it's just an idea. It's more of an opinion. It's not even really an opinion piece. It's just an article by Business Insider saying this tax increase, okay, for taxing overseas profits on large corporations could bring in about $800 billion. But I just want to warn you guys, Congress isn't talking about taxing large corporations to take $800 billion and give it back to the American taxpayer. That's not what they're looking at. They're looking at taking that $800 billion and using that for other things. They're using that for free community college. They're using that to expand Medicare, but at the same time, expanding Medicare should be coming from their agreement or their idea to negotiate directly with the drug manufacturers to save money there, and that would fund Medicare. Okay, that would fund it all. But we're also looking at things like, yes, Medicare, free community college, child care, elder care. There's a lot of things in here, a lot of things in this $3.5 trillion bill. We want to expand and extend the child tax credit payments. That's a fairly costly program. They want to do that. They're talking about something like an adult tax credit, a larger earned income tax credit. There's different pieces of legislation, different proposals out there, but this is not what they're discussing. They're not discussing taking the $800 billion and pushing it back to the American people through a stimulus check. That's not what they're looking at doing. So again, I hate to be the bearer of bad news here, but there's no $2,800 stimulus check coming. But I just want to warn you guys that we are already seeing those across the internet. I've already seen probably maybe 3 or 4 YouTube videos just this morning, and the article just recently came out. So again, I just want to warn you guys, this is going to blow up, but I want to just warn you that this isn't happening yet. There's a possibility, but this is not happening yet. Okay? But as I know more, I promise I will share more. Now, I want to touch on the unemployment situation for a minute, because experts say that even though there's more than 7 million people that are currently unemployed, okay, about 7.5 million people are about to lose all their unemployment benefits. They don't expect the available jobs to be going, to just be filling up all of a sudden. That's not what they expect, and there's a reason. They say there's still a major concern over the Delta COVID variant. This is an extremely tough situation to be in. If you have a weakened immune system and you are worried about going out, working, right? And there's probably a decent amount of people here in the United States that do fit that bill, that do not want to go back to work because they're worried about their health. And I understand that. But at the same time, experts are saying these are just some of the people that are not going to go and get a job. They are not going to go and, even though they may not get unemployment benefits anymore, they're not going to go and look for work. They're going to wait. They're going to wait as long as they possibly can because they can't afford to get sick. They also say that finding childcare has become a major issue. If schools shut down, okay, and around me, schools aren't shutting down, but classrooms are having to pretty much be quarantined. The classrooms, it's like, okay, well, this classroom, they had a couple positive cases or whatever. All right, those classrooms, well, you gotta go home for like 14 days. Okay, well, if the sports teams, the football teams, oh, you guys had a few positive cases, so all the football players, well, you gotta stay home for the next 14 days, 10, 14 days, whatever it is, right? That's what we're seeing. So what we're also seeing is that people do not want to go back to work because they know they're going to have issues finding childcare. They're going to have to stay home because their children are now staying at home because they've been quarantined because of positive cases in their school. That's what we're seeing. Experts also say that about 25% of Americans are still considering changing their career paths altogether. And if you're going to change your career path, why would you go and work that job that you previously held when that is not where you want to be? Yes, I understand that you do need income, but some people think that no, they will simply wait, hold out for their ideal position. Here's something else. Financial experts are saying that the unemployed, they have taken up the knack of saving money. They have decided to save more money recently than spend. Honestly, for me, I think that is a great idea. So, according to financial experts, they say they could simply weather this storm, hold out for a couple of months before income becomes a major issue. And if this is the case, we may not see in 1 week that all the jobs that are currently available get filled up. That might not be the case. In 1 week, what we might see is the jobs market kind of just levels off. People aren't rushing back to work because they either have savings, worried about the Delta COVID variant, or they have childcare issues. They cannot find somebody to watch their children. So there's a lot of things happening right now, but as I know more, I promise I'll come back on and fill you in on all the latest news and updates. Again, just want to thank you guys for watching. Hopefully you have a wonderful rest of your day, an incredible weekend. If you have any questions whatsoever, please ask questions down in the comment section below. Again, thank you guys for watching. Consider subscribing, and I'll see you guys on the next one.